Hey Blake, what's up?
Hard to say. I met this guy online and he seemed pretty cool, but then I took a look at his feed and, here, take a look.
Huh, that is kinda suspicious.
Okay, I get it! I'll play Among Us! Fuck! Sus! Everything sus! Jesus fucking Christ! Man, Zach's really sus, huh?
The year was 2013. I lived in Washington State for only a few months at that point, and started going to a new school. I had a small group of friends that primarily talked about video games and anime. And, of course, I'm sure a lot of you could tell what was the biggest anime at that point in time. Attack on Titan! I had heard of the show online for quite some time, but didn't really look into it until I heard my friends talking about the show. The trend had escaped the internet, and it was at that point in time I decided to give the show a chance just to see what the hubbub was all about. Why do we bring up this almost decade-old memory, and what does it have to do with Among Us? Easy. I discovered Among Us the exact same way, as it quickly reminded me of the Season 1 days of Attack on Titan. Seeing video thumbnails relating to the game, seeing it blow up, and not really being able to relate to the memes like sus as I hadn't played the game at that point. But then I noticed my older sister, of all people, who really wasn't that invested in the indie scene as I am, was playing the mobile version with her girlfriend. It was at that point that I finally decided to give the game a chance. That, and it's really cheap, so what did I have to lose? In fact, I'm pretty sure I got the game on a Steam sale, so it was even cheaper than the original price. Yeah, I'm a cheapy McCheapsking, aren't I? So, does Among Us deserve its popularity, or is it destined to go the way of past internet trends like the Oh Really Ow, planking, and Gmod prop hunt? Well, this is just my opinion, but let's find out. Welcome to the Emo Corner, and this is Among Us. Among Us is a game where you and several other players have to run around a map and perform different tasks. You go to the right place and complete each and every job. Once everything is complete, you win. But it's not that simple, for there's a reason why the game has such a strange title. At least one or more of the players is an imposter. While completing each task, you must keep an eye out for other players, for one of them could very well be an imposter. Both the crewmate and imposter play the exact same, as to make sure they both can blend in with one another, but there are key differences. For the crewmate, only they can perform and complete tasks. Even after death, your job isn't done. But besides that, they're completely helpless to the imposter. The imposter cannot complete any tasks, but the list of tasks will still show on screen as to help the player who is the monster in disguise blend in. Imposters are the only players who can see who else is an imposter, as they will have red text as their name instead of white. Murder is easy, as all you have to do when you're close enough is click the kill button, but after you do so, you can't kill again until the button's cooldown ends. Imposters can also use vents to essentially fast travel and hide from other players, but be careful, because if a crewmate sees you enter a vent, then the secret is out. You can sabotage different aspects of the ship, which if that happens, all players must stop what they're doing and fix what is tampered with, or else it's instant game over. If a player dies, then their body will remain behind. Any player near the body can bring any attention to it, causing an emergency meeting. If you can't start a meeting this way for whatever reason, you can always go to the emergency button, or the I'm bored and I just wanted to say hi button. Seriously, you have no idea how many people actually do this. You normally use this button if you see an imposter vent and there is no body to report. But keep in mind, the imposter can also use the emergency meeting button and report bodies even if they were killed by that exact imposter. This is often referred to as self-reporting. It's a good way to lower suspicions as you pin the blame on someone else. During an emergency meeting, all players are alerted, as they instantly stop whatever they're doing, even if they're in the middle of a task or something was sabotaged, and discuss with one another who the potential imposter is. Many will say stuff like "Lime sus" or "I saw orange vent by whatever." there are some problems with the game. As mentioned before, if an emergency meeting is called while a task is being performed, it completely cancels it out, even if it's near completion. This wouldn't be so bad if it weren't for some players not giving others enough time to perform a task. There were times where I had to start the same task multiple times over and over and still not complete it because by the time there was no interruptions, the imposter would kill me. There also isn't that much content as there are only 3 maps, and once you know the maps and have played them enough, it makes things a little less interesting. Maybe if they had a single player mode or a tasks mode, perhaps an imposter rampage mode or even a survival horror-like mode, where the players know who the imposter is, but there is no way to get rid of them, so they must make an escape plan or be killed in an instant. Think of it like Dead by Daylight, if it was in a top-down perspective, that is. Your experience is also heavily depending on who you're playing with, as other players can make or break the game. It's easier for those who have a group of people to play with, but for others it's a hit or miss. Sometimes it can even be hard just to join a game due to others, and once you finally do and the game starts, a list of people would have already left. Though I've had little to no connection issues. Maybe it's just because of the amount of content the game needs to run, but I've had way more issues with games like Fall Guys or Rocket League when it comes to lag. As Among Us, I've barely seen any problems, even without an Ethernet cable. Then, there is one problem with the game's popularity. Look, I don't want to sound like an asshole about internet culture, so I hope people don't take what I'm about to say as a personal insult to them, the developers, or their favorite content creator. But with all these YouTubers and streamers getting into the game, it makes me wonder how genuinely these creators care about Among Us, or just how popular Among Us currently is. There is no denying that if there is a popular trend on the internet, that content creators will jump on the trend to help their YouTube channel. And this is fine, as long as they still show enjoyment for the said trend and understand moderation. Just because something is a trend doesn't mean those creating content on said trend can't truly like it. But I fear with how much content there is online and how hard it can be to escape any popular trend, that its own popularity may become its end. The same thing happened with Happy Wheels, most popular indie horror games, and any meme that lasted more than a week. These things became popular, more people got into it, more people used it for their own gain, people got tired of it and moved on sooner than the game itself would have lasted. There is such a thing as too much of a good thing. Trust me, I've already seen like a bunch of memes of people getting tired of recognizing the crewmate in basic objects, like a bag of potato chips in a cartoon background, or just a trash can that just so happened to look like the red crewmate. I'm sure you've already seen some of the memes about how people are tired of Among Us.
You're acting highly sus, VP Blowfish.
Am I claiming that your favorite content creator is just some money view-hungry monster? No. Well, I guess it depends who, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. I am more stating just a concern that I have for the game's well-being. Many made fun of Fall Guys for being overshadowed by Among Us, but it's because of that, Fall Guys is getting more healthy, natural growth rather than just viewer growth. If anything, Among Us might have just taken a bullet for Fall Guys, depending on what the game's future holds. I could be wrong, and Among Us will stick around longer than any of us have anticipated, but as much as I don't want the internet trend extinction list to continue, it's a very real possibility that Among Us could go the way of the dodo. I hope not. I genuinely like the game, and it's getting more people into the indie scene, and I would recommend it to others. This is why I say this. Not to be some popular game-hating ranter, but rather someone who likes the game himself and understands that popularity has its downside, especially if it goes from popular to trendy. I hope for the best for developer Innersloth, and hope that Among Us can be like Five Nights at Freddy's and survive the extinction list.